The holy job, the manifestation of the soul. Inner consciousness is a term used to describe the state of being aware of one's. The soul appears as a deep active form that communicates with us to direct us through our earthly evolution. The soul manifests in us and assists us in our everyday lives, orienting us and giving us inner, prior wisdom that is needed for our elevation to sacred consciousness and our work on the world. We can see the soul's active forms in us in a variety of ways, including clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, and clairconnaissance. The various approaches to catching the sacred. All of the tools for our evolution are within us, in our interior consciousness, where our soul directs and assists us in spiritual growth. Our divine truth, which is a part of us in every way, is our inner consciousness, which binds us to the cosmos and the holy world. This consciousness is the real world that dwells inside us, our spiritual aspect, the holy inner world that animates us and protects our ancestral memory, our original DNA. The body, which represents our ascension. The soul manifests at the level of our inner consciousness, and it is here that the connection is made that enables us to gain true awareness of the other dimensions for our lives. It gives us a different perspective on things than we are used to, returning us to a place of inner peace where nothing can harm us. Looking back on life as a neutral awareness of the outside, of what we see on this planet, but it also puts us within ourselves, in our depths of sacred experience, to comprehend, with the keys to universal consciousness. Our guide to the supramental, the light. Closing parenthesis. The soul works in a number of ways around us. She uses a variety of channels to express herself and communicate with us in order to direct us: clairaudience, notes, sounds, sentences, messages from beyond the veil. Clairvoyance, visions, dreams, soul visions to direct us. Clairsentience, smelling stuff, smelling perfumes. Clairconnaissance as sacred wisdom, the lessons of the universal celestial school of masters, guides. People activate one of its internal sacred communication mechanisms, whether consciously or unconsciously. When they are able, the soul uses one of its divine forms to make itself heard and understood. The soul will be able to manifest itself and alter our existence, opening up in us the flower of higher consciousness evolution with the holy universe, its spiritual component. The connection, rediscovering your prior knowledge. Closing parenthesis. The soul will manifest itself in us more and more quickly as a result of the energies of the modern age of consciousness evolution, assisting us in our evolutionary journey. Year-round instruction and mindfulness training. Many people are awakening, and it's crucial to feel supported in these moments, which is why there are so many writings, discoveries, and testimonies about this emergence. In tranquility and harmony, a 25-year-old woman recently told me about her experience. Her soul had just manifested and was resuming its function as a guide. This individual works in the catering industry, and she felt a tube of security around her for several days, which was actually her soul protecting her so that she could transform internally. After a while, the tube vanished, and she felt a bond in her that made her feel good, fearless, and safe. When she took orders at a table, she knew what people would order ahead of time. She sensed the person's sincerity or lack thereof because she was connected to her spiritual element. This sensation in her body was her spirit leading her. She had made him feel things before they happened. Since it was the time for the soul to manifest itself in consciousness, this soul linked this person with clairsentience, and she was ready in her spirit to receive this interior manna, inner knowledge, the celestial manna. Closing parenthesis. Her work on herself and her letting go of the mind that exhausted her, she had a tendency to plan everything, allowed her to open another dimension of internal consciousness where the soul could express itself and show her that she was helped and protected by living in the present moment in all its clarity. She realized that calculating stuff ahead of time was pointless because everything only fell into place at the right time. This person is just at the start of a beautiful sacred journey that will lead to their evolution. Do not separate the holy from the mundane. Each human being has the ability to activate the link to his soul, allowing it to manifest and direct him, the spirit of the new world. This reality of inner life awakening can occur at any age. Before the auspicious moment when soul manifests, we will feel preliminary preparations. When this happens to us, we must not be afraid. It is our soul manifesting itself because it is the moment of opening our minds, knowledge, and hearts to another sacred dimension, the opening of the spirit's heart. We are prepared, and now is the time to begin the work of inner bonding that we must complete. Many people are in specialist hospitals after experiencing a spontaneous awakening of consciousness with no one around to understand why and how this inner spiritual manifestation occurred. Enable yourself to be directed to human beings that will assist you in experiencing all of the life phenomena that are embodied in you. The soul will interfere in your life, providing you with answers and signals to assist your comprehension. The functions of energetics and magnetizers. If we want to, we can act actively by working on ourselves to relate to our spiritual portion. We have sacred teaching tools in our hands that enable us to actively communicate with our soul. More and more people will be given sacred universal resources to help transform human consciousness and usher us into the fourth and fifth dimensions. I work with my spiritual mentors, who taught me the Tai Chi of the virtues, the energy of the creative word, and active meditation by creative thinking. The Tai Chi of the virtues, the energy of the creative word. Training a meditation active by creative thought. These lessons have been given to me so that I can learn to work with his soul and spiritual guides in all awareness in order to live life in a better way. The work is performed directly and is guided by beings of light, angels, archangels, masters, etc., who know how to get us to work at the moment's notice, to reconnect us with our soul. This new age is one of self-awakening, of consciousness, in which the soul will be able to manifest itself in and outside of us, in our daily activities, and in the awakening of humanity's consciousness. The spirit of the heart, which unites the soul with the word of the heart of limitless light, replaces the mind's finite power in this inner consciousness. This internal truth would be able to emerge from inside us, manifest itself outside of us, and transform our way of life by enabling us to live in the present moment with all of its sacred properties. All of this will become more apparent in a world where universal consciousness manifests in every human being. Signs transmitted by the body or mind, the universe's language. Every human being is imbued with the great day of sacred knowledge, but everyone is free to embrace this celestial divinity of evolution in themselves. Let us share this celestial experience of consciousness evolution with those around us so that mentalities can shift and develop in this new world.